Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy BZCast. Today we're going to be reacting to my final NFL mock draft. I just went over my first mock draft of the year, kind of just seeing how I did. Some takes weren't so good. I had 19 out of 32 players correct in the first round, four of which who I didn't have correct did go back to school. Sellers, Dante Moore, you know, Ugalele out of Oregon, but let's get into it. Obviously, Fernando Mendoza ends up going number one,
It's Arvell Reese. He is
as expected, and of course I get number two wrong. So let's see how I do here.
think I would go with him. You know, he's just a better prospect. He's more pro ready. He played in that OSU system under Patricia, who was a defensive coordinator in the NFL for a long time. Pick three. Right now, if they keep the pick, which I think they do, it looks like it, Jeremiah Love is the guy they're going to go with here, in my opinion.
Okay, that's 2 for 3. That is an excellent guess.
Now at four, David Bailey's probably going to be my pick here. I don't see another pick. I think this is a possible trade down for Kansas City, Washington, New Orleans, trying to jump the Giants for pick five because the Giants they just
Why do I look like I'm on
Jordan
cocaine?
so bad at that pick.
I don't know.
And I don't think he's going to fall to 10, so I think they're going to take him at 5. So I think David Bailey.
Oh, I said that about Tyson. Oh shit. Okay, so let's do a little review there. Okay, position wrong, obviously. Team wrong. Kind of just not gonna work there. So David Bailey goes 2, Arvell Reese goes 5. Kind of just played out a little differently. Obviously, Carnell Tate goes 4. That kind of came out of nowhere. I don't think any mock I saw had any expectation of that. I think most people thought they would take Love, or they would take Sonny Styles or an edge rusher. So I'm not too mad about that. I think I thought Reese Reese had the odds. Reese was nearly minus 300 to go number 2, but David Bailey woke Aaron Glenn up out of at the combine, so clearly he was the guy to go with.
Definitely a first rounder right now. So
okay, I mean I'm right there.
We will see really there. The Giants, like I just said, I think Jordan Tyson's the pick.
I don't think I have Ty Simpson in the first round though, because I just didn't know where to draft him.
Number 2, I don't think Delane. Maybe a trade down. Mawaga. I mean, I don't see anybody else right now, so I think Tyson is the guy to go with here.
Whoa! Hold on.
2. I don't see anybody else right now. I think Caleb Downs would be the number 2. I don't think Delane. Maybe a trade down. Mawaga. I mean.
Okay, I just said Milwaukee. I mean, they take him at 10. I'll give myself some a little pat on the back, maybe.
See anybody else right now? So I think Tyson is the guy to go with here at 5. And I did have him at 4.
Okay, I mean, shoot me. Why don't you? He goes at 8 to Kansas City. No, New Orleans. I don't know. I just said that. I'm looking at the screen, and I said the wrong team. He goes to Kansas City. I can't be mad about that one. I just said the wrong team 2 times in a row. He goes to New Orleans. I mean, I'm 3 picks off. They wanted to try and get him at 10, I think. I really don't know, because apparently the Giants loved, they were playing everybody. They loved Reese and they loved Moaga, and those are 2 of the top 4 players they had on their board. So I don't know. They had no clue that they could get both of them, apparently, according to Joe Schoen and John Harbaugh or whatever. I don't know, dude. Tyson, not a bad shout. He goes 8. Not gonna be mad about that one. I did think he would go pretty early.
But if the guy plays, he's a top 5 receiver. I wanted to say Carnell Tate, but I think just the pick is going to be tackle. This is just an offensive line that is completely new. 3 of their starters this year, or going into 2026, will be new players. They got rid of everybody on that offensive line. Get a guy like Mawaga. This is perfect. I'm not really concerned about the injuries. I don't think they are either. If they were, maybe they go Fano, maybe Monroe Freeling. I know they like both.
Okay, I just talked about Fano there. I say I'm gonna take Mawaga. Mawaga ends up going. Oh, okay. the Browns end up trading back. They end up, it's hard to predict a trade pre-draft. I said the Browns could be a team that trades down anyway. I know Kansas City wanted to move up, wanted to move down. They kind of wanted a corner. They want an edge rusher. Who knows? Kansas City moves up. Obviously, they take DeLon. Kind of just, plays out. I think I'm not sure who I end up putting for Kansas City. I'm pretty sure it is DeLon or Fano. But, Mowaga ends up going at 10 to the Giants. Putting him at 9, or, he ends up going. Well, the Browns take a tackle at 9. I mean, not a bad shout. I really don't think so.
Potential trade down spot because it could still get one of those offensive linemen, 12, 13. I know the Rams want a receiver. Makai Lemon has been talked about a lot there. The Cowboys want a receiver now too. So who knows really on that one. At 7. Now, the Commanders is a hard one, honestly. I think Sonny Styles is probably going to be the pick here.
Yeah, and you, sir, would be correct.
Last year. I think Sonny Styles makes sense. I think Caleb Downs is also going to be in play here. But I'm gonna stick with Sonny Styles, who's not. He's like a outside linebacker kind of. So I think he could be pretty good. I mean, it's a hard position to draft, always linebacker, but he's less edge rushery than like.
Okay, bro, just go to the Saints pick.
I want to go Cornell Tate. I'm probably gonna be the favorite. Now Alontae Taylor leaves.
I say DeLon at 8. I don't even think that's a bad pick. I mean, I had good reasoning. He goes 6. Chiefs trade up to get him. I really do think that he would have been taken at 8 if he falls. I think the Chiefs trade up because of that sole reason. Honestly, I'm pretty happy about that pick as well.
At 9, I'm trying to check if there was a trade here. Is the pick though? Walker, Andy Reid has already said he really wants to improve the offensive line.
I actually think I got baited by Andy Reid, so
Simmons,
he could go screw himself.
He was injured. He was playing all over the place. He was okay.
Okay, Fano at 9. He ends up going at 9. Obviously, the trade with the Browns. So, I have Fano at 9. That was correct. Mowaga ends up going 10. Browns end up taking offensive lineman. I was right about that. But the Chiefs don't. They end up taking DeLon. And I didn't have Tate in the top 10, which is kind of a little bad.
Sure, they're going to offensive guy, in my opinion. Why not? I'm really not sure. I think Downs, if he doesn't
Okay,
go there,
I don't think that's a bad shout. Honestly, I thought I took Mowaga. I don't think Downs was a bad shout. I really thought Downs was in play there. They kind of just got a better player for what they needed. I think Downs is the better prospect. Obviously, he's a top, 3, top 5 prospect in the class. I don't think that's, like a crazy thing to say. I said Dallas, could take him.
Probably go to 12 to Dallas, but
what the hell was that timing?
Let's keep on moving. Now Miami, obviously.
I just remembered I said that word.
Take a receiver here. I think Cornell Tate is the pick. I think.
Okay, I have.
That, they're gonna go off
11 of the. No, I have 10 of the 11. 10 of the top 11. Nice, dude.
Could be the one that falls to that pick. Now at 12, with Dallas, I think the pick is gonna be Ruben Bain. Secondary.
Ruben Bain goes 15. Fuck.
I mean, Ruben Bain at top 5 pick, and now he's sitting out in New Orleans at 12 here to get Dallas one of their needs.
I don't even think that's a bad one because obviously Dallas takes, Malachi Lawrence at 23.
Honestly, and then at 13, I like Lemon the most here. I think he just fits your mind off.
That's not a bad opinion. Again, I just don't think I could have predicted Simpson there.
And I think Lemon, with the aging Devontae Adams, who's on his last,
I don't think that's a bad take. Obviously, I'm a little off because he ends up going at 20, but
I think this
in the Philly trade.
Going to be dropping it. Get an inside offensive lineman after you lose Linderbaum. I mean, this offensive line is just not very good last year.
Ooh, I got this one. Ione, nice. Honestly, I thought he could go as high as 10 as well.
Like I said a bunch of times. I think the Igbuka who.
I'm one off on Sadiq. Ruben Bain falls. I get that. It's hard to pass up on that. Proctor, sends everybody down a little bit. He was a big reach, and I do think I talk about the possibility of
his
him
production
even going
better.
earlier. So.
And I'm of himself just such a team with the Jets. Been really interested in taking receiver. I like Omar Cooper here, but I think they like Denzel Boston more.
I should never make a video again. Literally, the first and last mock draft video, I hype up Denzel Boston. I thought the Jets loved him. Every report I saw is talking about how much the Jets love Denzel Boston. Think he's a top 3 or 4 receiver in the class, and they don't even take the guy. Oh, brother.
In love with Denzel Boston as a player, perfect pick.
Okay, Freeling's had a bad show because they end up taking Blake Miller. And Freeling goes at 19 instead, so.
Skipper and all a perfect fit to minute, just getting production.
Okay, Dieneman, every single person in the fucking world had him there, and he still didn't go there. So clearly I was wrong.
Bynum left the season before they. I would have said I think this is where Colton. I know they, be the pick, but I think Omar Cooper could also.
Well, I was on Blake Miller. Wasn't.
I think Omar Coker would be talent at tight end since Greg Olsen left. But I think the pick is going to be Colton Hood. I think he's the corner 2 drafted in this one.
Okay, they took Downs and they took Malachi Lawrence, and I had a corner and Bain. Not terrible. I was one of 2, and Hood wasn't a terrible shout.
You have to Roger or what they're gonna do, but I think probably the pick here is probably gonna be Blake Miller or Proctor. I also think I want to, Pregnon, Chase Bisontis in here too. When I was coming up with this one, I was like, oh, is he, line up? Oh, I mean, Bisontis, I think for him. I think
Bisontis wasn't a bad shot. I really thought he was going to go in the first round. Rutledge ends up being the second offensive guard drafted, and I really thought it would have been Bisontis and Pregnon. Bisontis had a lot of love the last weeks, and it didn't happen.
But I think right now the pick is Peter Woods.
Okay, again, I don't think this is a bad call. They end up going Mesidor. I don't mind that. I'm right on. I say they need an edge rusher. I say they need a defensive lineman. They end up going for, the edge rusher. I say defensive lineman. Of course, I'm going to be, the opposite. Peter Woods also goes at 29, right? Or something. So I don't think, I was very mistaken here.
He's definitely a top, he's definitely not making past Philly if he's there, in my opinion. They would love to get a receiver. I know they wanted to trade up. He's probably going to go earlier.
Okay, that's a great call. I know I said it too.
But he's definitely a
Proctor. The guy goes 11. I don't think anyone expected that. Very, very good player, but I just don't think he's
like I said,
that good.
Teams love Brazil. People love Brazil. I'm not sold on, Tennessee receivers. I think Concepcion makes a lot of sense here. This is one of the most wide receiver needy teams. Whoever's going to play quarterback in that hellhole room is going to need a guy like, Concepcion. I think he's an underrated prospect. I've raved about him a lot. I wanted Denver to get him. We got Jalen Waddle, so I can live with that. At 25 here, the Bears. I think the pick could be McNeil Warren. I also think Cade McDonald's here. But, Brisker leaves safeties.
Okay, I go safety. They take Thieneman. I can live with that.
And obviously Ed Olin. But I think they want to get, an offensive.
Okay, the Bills trade back 2 times, and nice, bro. I honestly, I can't remember who the Bills end up taking. Do they even end up picking in the first round? Oh, no, of course not. They traded 3 times. So, nice, bro. They traded 26, and they end up taking an edge rusher. Or, not an edge rusher. They trade 26. They end up taking a guard. They take Rutledge. Like I said, they end up I had Pregnon, they have Rutledge with the Texans. They obviously wanted a guard, like I am about to say, in a pick, so.
It's probably just going to be Blake Miller. I think he's a first round.
Blake Miller ends up going a bit earlier than that. I believe he goes at 22 or 21. Blake Miller ends up going 17. I was little bit off. I was 10 picks off there.
And I just don't see, again, they need somewhere around this range. I would definitely expect them to try and move up. Chase Basantis is going to be the guy they look for, I think.
Okay, again, I don't think that was a bad shout. I say they were going to move up. They're one of the. I mean, they were the second team to do so.
Can't really predict it.
Cade McDonald, not a terrible pick, I don't think. Keldrick Falk to the Chiefs. I mean, the guy goes to 31. They end up taking Woods. I'm pretty close there. You know, Falk's 2 picks off there. I don't think that was a terrible.
Making really good.
Terrible assumption.
Not McCollum. And you can.
Ian Achor, I have at 30. I mean, they trade up to 27 with the Niners. They end up taking Chris Johnson. They wanted a corner. I really thought they were going to go, you know, offensive line, but there really wasn't a guy there. Obviously, you know, Lomu goes at, 28. Ian Achor goes at 21. As I remind myself who they take.
Really bad this to say. Parker.
And I thought the Pats would go an edge rusher. I really did. And they end up going, Caleb Lomu. They end up trading up for him. I did like him as a first-round pick, but I just wasn't correct, unfortunately. I mean,
I'm still gonna go with it. I'm still gonna say it's Jadarian Price.
Okay, I mean,
probably trade down. I think Price could go, to Minnesota if they move down. I really do. But 18 minutes from now, we'll start to see how the board.
I don't think it was a terrible take, bro. I really don't.
I will be, reacting to my first.
I mean, bro, like we're gonna look through this real quick. Let's see. I mean, Denzel Boston's the bad miss. Pregnon's obviously not in the first either. McNeil Warren, freaking McDonald, Powell. That's 5. I mean, 6 with Basantis, 7 with Hood. I mean, bro, 25 of 32 really isn't that bad in all terms of reality. I mean, I had a couple, spots right. Mendoza. Oh, that was a hard one, obviously. Love, Sonny Styles, Fano had at the right spot. I mean, Ione. Sadiq, I was close. I was right on with them taking a lineman, but they just took the different white guy. Peter Woods, I was close. Concepcion, I was right on. They take a safety. Sometimes it's just not meant to be, bro. They take Peter Woods instead, and then, he goes at 31. And then I got Price right. I mean, bro, 25 of 32, I think that's pretty good, honestly. I don't think, picking the exact spot players are going to go is a little more difficult. Obviously, because, teams are going to rank players a little differently than, like anyone else, even another team. So it's kind of just hard for you to determine that at all. So, but I'm 25 for 32 on that, so hopefully I can do better next year, and all freaking hopes. I mean, not bad for my first year of doing mocks on here, and I'll see y'all next time for whatever next I do. Maybe a early 2027, way too early 2027 NFL mock draft. Who knows? Peace out.